All right, so I just opened up the Rhino file that I transferred over from my computer. I transferred it over on OneDrive. So you should be able to transfer one of your Rhino files that you made on your desktop or laptop and transfer it over onto the VDI. And the only thing that I've done is I've just added a simple gray material, plastic metallic gray. I just added a gray material to this object, and I'm just going to render it. So just go back to my settings. Turn off camera, go to render output. I just want to make sure my save frame is on so I know exactly what I'm rendering. And I'm just going to render it. Save frame, for now I just have it as a 16:9 widescreen with a resolution of 800 by 450. That's fine. And I'm just going to render it. All right, so now that it's actually rendered and finished, I'm going to save this file two different ways. So here, I'm going to click on the save icon. I can save it under my OneDrive. So the first one I'm going to save it as, I'm going to save it as a PNG. And save it. And I'm going to click the save icon and save it again. But instead of the PNG, this time I'm going to save it as a JPEG. If for whatever reason, if you save it onto the desktop, if you click the desktop here, it's not technically saving to the VDI desktop. You have to click on desktop and then click this little down arrow on this icon and then click this desktop. And then it'll properly save to the desktop. So just be aware of that in case you try to save it to the desktop. But it should now I should have now saved it to my OneDrive, and here it is, OneDrive. So now I have both of these images here. I have Photoshop open, and I'm going to drag both of these, or open both of these in my Photoshop on my computer, on my laptop. So I just want to show the difference between saving it as a JPEG and saving it as a PNG. So if I save it as a JPEG, it actually saves the actual background the exact same way that it looks on the final rendered image. All right, but if I save it as a PNG file, what a PNG does is it won't save the background. It'll only save the rendered image. In this way, I can add my own background by adding, so you go to Edit Fill. And for now, I'll just do a white background. You can do gray background or any other color. And with the PNG, it gives you more control because you're not, you could also move this around because it gives you more control because it's not saving the actual image. Here in this case, what I would have to do is unlock the layer. So now I have this image, but then I have to use one of these commands to make a selection to essentially trim the pixels that I don't need, which will take too long, especially if I can just save it as a PNG. It just does all that for me. So I would recommend whenever you render something using V-Ray, just make sure you save it as a PNG file.